And today, Frank, we just want to find out because it has been said and we keep on saying that things are not very okay in terms of our economy, but we want to ask ourselves a question. So how can we get out of here so that we don't forever talk about, oh, the economy is like this and that and the other?
Absolutely.
What can be done? What can I do as an individual? What can businesses do? What can corporates do? What can the government do in order to get us out of this tight situation that we have found ourselves in?
So it's the multi-sectoral approach.
Absolutely. And we are privileged this morning. We actually did mention that we will have an economist in studio one of these fine days, and the day has come. It is today that we have an economist, a business consultant. He's a corporate trainer with expertise in economics, finance, and strategic management. And he is not new to the media scene. He has been featured here and there.
Yeah.
And we have the privilege of hosting him as a Christian, as a born-again Christian. I should not say this for him. He should say it for himself. But with us today is Jamlic. Good morning, Mr. Jamlic.
Good morning, Sharon.
Good to have you.
Good to see you. And thanks a lot for having me.
Karibu sana.
Yes, thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, good morning, my dear listener. My name is Jamlic Munyasya. I'm an economist, business consultant, and a corporate trainer. And above all, I'm a believer in Christ, vision bearer, Grace Dominion Chapel.
So I was right. He's a believer.
Wow.
And he has a nice voice, eh? He
Yeah,
should
sure.
enroll. All right, great. Thank you. Thank you so much once again for coming. So, like I have mentioned a few moments ago, we have found ourselves here as a country. And the shilling has been up and down and has gone up and down again and again. And there's a lot of talk that is going on in the country. Watu wanasema wamefinywa. They are pressed hard. So we want to find out, Jamlic, how do we get ourselves out of this situation? First of all, as an economist, where are we? What is the status of our economy?
Well, thank you. Somebody said that if you want to get out of poverty, you don't invest much energy fighting on the poverty. You research and employ the strategies that successful people have used to excel. And I would briefly mention where we came from, where we are, and what ought to be done.
Okay.
In 1950s and 1960s, I'll talk of, I'll mention 3 countries: Singapore, Malaysia, and then South Korea.
Okay.
Kenya was far much ahead of these countries, both Singapore, Malaysia, and South Korea.
Okay.
In fact, it said in 1960s that Kenya supported Singapore with, donated actually, $5 million US.
To Singapore.
Yes.
All right.
That means that we were far much ahead of Singapore in terms of the economy. But statistics in 2023 shows that Kenyan GDP was 108.04 billion US dollars compared to Singapore, which was $399.7 million.
It's more than twice.
Yeah. So
times.
yes, you go to countries like you look at maybe Malaysia. You look at Malaysia. We were far much ahead, and you understand that countries like Singapore used Session 1 of 1965, that blueprint. That's what they used to develop their economies. South Korea. I'm reading a book called From Good to Great by Jimmy Collins. The story of South Korea, where they've come from in terms of economics and where they are. And I come to discover that there is a time even Kenya, during the time of drought, helped South Korea to develop their economies. So from 1960s now, we are in 2005. Roughly 55 years later, some of these countries are second world countries. Kenya is still a third world country and struggling economically. South Korea, there's a strategy that they have employed, which is a very good and I wish that Kenya would also adopt it. There are several MNEs, multinational enterprises, that run the economy of Korea. And you can imagine, Sharon, that government follows up on even the CEOs, what they are doing, where they are sleeping, and their lifestyle, because they want to protect. Because they want to protect the economy. They know if one of them happen to collapse, hundreds of thousands of people will lose jobs. Hundreds of thousands of people will lose jobs. And this is a corporate strategy that I believe that as a nation and well employed. Look at in our country, companies like Nakumat. Nakumat had about 62 branches. And they say that they had 6,500 employees. Now, when Nakumat closed down, the ripple effect, 6,500 people losing their jobs, that translates to about 30,000 people, because there are cab guys that drop the Nakumat employees. There are Nduthi guys as well. There are petrol station attendants. If you are a CEO, definitely means that at home you have a house manager. That house, you have someone in the village taking care of the farm. So that means 6,500 people will be roughly 30,000 people that have been affected by that. So in such cases, the government should come in and help salvage the situation. Well, this is a private entity, but we are also losing the revenue. The government is losing the revenue. We are losing jobs. Now look at Mumias as well. Mumias has over 1,200 employees. Closing down Mumias means that you have affected the economy. Over 10,000 people will be affected. So South Korea has used a very good strategy where those companies that run the economy, government follows up.
Okay.
They'll even do special trainings, They'll even do special trainings to ensure that those companies, and give them incentives so that they encourage them, to grow. So we have to look at, when you're talking of economic independence, we have to look at where we were in 1960s and where we went wrong. And maybe the sectors that in the economy, which we can maybe affect. You know, we talk of corruption, there is corruption and there is too much financial leakage. Maybe you can talk about that later. But we also need to check as individuals at corporate level and as a government, the strategies which we can employ and the sectors. And one of the sectors that I would really recommend and advise that we invest in is industrialization.
Okay.
The industrial parks. Kenya and Africa at large is very rich in resources, but very poor in terms of transformation. We extract raw materials, we sell, and we sell to the developed countries, and buy back at 10 times price, inflated prices. Then you wonder, why can't we invest? We have what it takes. There's a time Kenya produced one of the greatest persons. I mean, there's a time a Kenyan became a president in US. That means we have the brains, we have the resources, and we have what it takes to achieve economic independence. There's a time China closed all its doors to build the domestic industries.
Okay.
What did that look like?
This is where you control the imports. You control the imports to increase the exports, so that you have at least you're encouraging industrialization. They even establish industrial parks. They establish industrial parks. Kenya exports hides and skins. There are counties, especially Laikipia, which are rich in animal hides and skins. We export. But look, later we buy shoes, all those things that are made of the skins. And we wonder, why can't we convert them into finished goods so that we first build industries?
Yes.
If we establish industries in Kenya, the issue of unemployment will come to an end, because that's where you get CEOs, that's where you get the marketing team, that's where you get advocates in the organization, that's where you get drivers, and the ripple effect, the effect to the entire economy. I mean, that's how you grow the economy. So we've killed local industries without knowing. And I would say that if Kenya will get out of these economic quagmires that we are facing as a nation, we have really to focus on industrialization. A research was done, and we found that when we closed down the plastic stuffs in Kenya, 60,000 direct employees lost jobs.
Okay.
60,000. But there is a better way that would have done as a nation to curb that problem. Now I'm glad you're listening.
Yeah, very keenly.
We can recycle. In process accounting, we say that output, or rather a waste product for one process can be used as an input for another process.
Okay.
So these plastic products can be recycled. I know of a company in Kariobangi that uses the plastics that recycles the plastics, the waste products, and they do posts that are used for fencing. So we literally killed that industry. And yesterday, as I was walking around Thika Road, I will also see those plastic stuffs. So where are they coming from?
Where are they coming from?
That means there are chances that we could be getting them from Tanzania or Uganda.
Okay.
So their industries are doing well because we are getting them from those countries.
Yeah.
So the solution would have, instead of laying 60,000 Kenyans losing jobs, when you talk of 60,000, we still have the dependents back in the village, back in the city, in the village, in the city. And those, those guys that have lost jobs still have employed people. So you look at the effect to the economy. Over 100,000 people lost jobs. What could have been done to salvage the problem, and so that we don't have many people losing jobs? Establish. Let's leverage on technology as a country. Kenya is a very blessed country. Yeah, we can advance our technology to a level where we can recycle all the waste products so that we preserve these jobs.
I'm just wondering, Jamlic, so where is the disconnect? Is it that the decision makers in the government, for example, or in these organizations, lack people to actually guide them? Or is it just selfish interests? What's the problem?
They say that those who have ideas don't have power, and those who have power don't have ideas.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So how do we bridge the gap?
I think the best we can do is to keep on speaking the message.
I hear you.
Someone told me that do your part.
Yeah.
Don't sit down pretty and say that things will move on. We can do nothing.
Yeah.
Do your part. Leave the government with its parts. I'm not an activist, I'm an economist.
Yes.
But I usually say, I write articles. I've been writing articles in Standard newspaper, in Business Daily, in The Star. And all these articles speak generally of how Kenya and Africa can achieve economic independence. So I'm doing my part.
I hear you.
As a patriotic citizen.
Yeah.
I'm doing my part as a patriotic citizen.
Yeah.
There's a time Rwanda came up with a very good strategy. They introduced a system they called Rwanda for Rwanda. I'm still in industrialization.
Yeah.
Rwanda for Rwanda. Buy Rwanda, build Rwanda.
Buy Kenya, buy Kenya. We've had that before.
Yes. Buy Kenya, build Kenya.
Yeah.
Imagine in a country that is blessed like Kenya, where you see even a toothpick made in China.
Yes.
Come on.
Yet we have bamboo here.
Yes. Imported toothpicks. When will Kenya ever have a positive BOT. Because for us to achieve a positive BOT and even have
what's a BOT for the public?
Balance of trade. That's when you compare the imports and the exports. If the exports, if what you are importing is more than what you are exporting, then that means that you have a negative BOT. If you are exporting more than what you are importing, that means you have a positive BOT. And I believe that Kenya can have a positive balance of trade.
All right.
If we leverage on this, invest in industrialization. Buy Kenya, build Kenya. We try to promote that patriotism and teach our citizens to be patriotic and loyal. That anything that is quality and is made, anything that is quality and is made in Kenya needs to be prioritized, and government is how we can have Kenyan products, in the market, both in domestic market, and the Ministry even on Foreign Affairs, creating markets, external markets, so that we help develop our company, our industries. If we develop our industries, we have created jobs. If we develop the industrial parks, we've increased circulation of money in the economy. We've solved unemployment, we have positive BOT, and because people are busy, some of these criminal activities that you are talking about will literally go down. Because if people don't have jobs, what do you expect?
Yeah.
They will engage in criminal activities. These are the guys who find even at midnight holding pankas everywhere. They want to attack. They are looking for money.
Right.
Because they literally don't have jobs. There are so many youths. Kenya is one of the blessed countries in East Africa that in terms of professionals, every year we release hundreds of thousands of professionals. We have lawyers, we have doctors. Yeah, we have lawyers, we have doctors. And because of not investing in industrialization, now we are suffering from brain drain.
All right.
Yeah, so our brains are being exported
Yes.
to other countries.
We are suffering from brain drain. In mercantilism approach, you see countries like Australia, they get the skilled labor from countries like Kenya.
Yeah.
They will advertise, we need doctors, experienced doctors. Now from there, they use our skilled labor to produce products and they sell them to us at inflated prices. So we don't need brain drain. We don't need to export the skilled labor. We can develop our own industries and see how we can salvage the problem.
All right. Allow me to take you back a little bit. You talked about buying locally, encouraging locally manufactured
Buy
goods.
Kenya, build Kenya.
Yes. So there's an argument that Kenyan products, manufactured products here are expensive.
Yeah.
What could be the reason, and how can we go about it to make sure that as much as we are pushing the agenda, buy Kenya, build Kenya, we are also making the goods and services, affordable for the common mwananchi?
All right. One of the things that affects the prices of our country is the cost of operation.
Okay.
Because you see, we are all in business. The CP, the cost of production. Once when you are doing a markup price, of course, you have to consider the cost of production. And cost of production is determined by many factors.
Okay.
One is the taxes. If taxes are high, the cost of production of our products will be high.
All right.
Number two, the cost of operation, the bureaucracies, the logistics, getting license, even from the county, sometimes it's expensive. So we make everything expensive, and the overall effect, you find that our products could be more expensive than what we import from other countries. And
But then, Jamlic, sorry to cut you short. I'm thinking, we say that we need to tax people in order for us to develop our economy at the same time. So where do we draw the balance?
Well, we can, the more you have many industries running. Someone told me one day that if I want to succeed in business, and he used an example of a foreigner that was running a business in Kenya. And he told me, an African and a Kenyan will prefer selling a product at a very expensive price. And this foreigner, where you find all Kenyans and other foreigners are queuing, it's, the surplus in production could be very little, but they prefer selling in economies of scale.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the best that we can do as a country. We encourage more industries by reducing the taxes. Because the more we have industries, the more we'll have the revenue.
Okay.
Would rather get 2 shillings from 100 companies than getting 10 shillings from 2 companies.
I hear you.
So is it a point to say that we can lower the taxation on local industries and maybe increase taxes on imported goods, right?
Yes, so that at least we encourage our local industries from, and protect them from exploitation by MNEs.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well put.
Wow.
You were on a trail of thought.
Yes.
I cut you short. I don't know if you will recollect.
Just ask.
No. I'm saying I cut you short while you were on a point. I'm not sure if you will remember the point you were on.
So the second sector
Yeah.
that I would really encourage us to focus on is on agriculture. You see, English is a foreign language.
Yes.
But it's made compulsory from nursery school to university.
Yeah.
I think the same way agriculture should be a compulsory subject. That's what I will advocate for.
Okay.
And agro-processing. I occasionally visit Makuene County, and I must, I must congratulate the leadership of Makuene County for the work that they have done. I look at how they have created employment and the growth of the county. There is, they have established a farm. They have established a farm in a place called Kalamba, Makuene County. And last year, they processed 600 kilograms of mangoes.
Okay.
600,000?
600,000, sorry.
Okay.
That affected positively 100,000 farmers.
Okay.
So you can imagine, of how many people, the number of people that this plant has created jobs for.
Yes.
So you see, as we complain as a country, we think of exporting skilled labor. You find that we have so many local resources. At the same time, when Makuene was doing this, I visit other counties, of course, because I travel a lot preaching. And you find mangoes lying all over.
Yeah. Yeah. And we throw
That
them away.
making even environments to be unconducive. And then we ask ourselves, why can't we do the same? If we have several plants like this for agro-processing, we will really, really solve the issues of the economy.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jamlic. We will get to business and then be back in a few moments. Stay with us. If you have a question or comment, feel free to share that with us on the number 20933 0717 400
Hub on Activate. Your catalyst for economic growth.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. And if you just joined us, you're most welcome having a conversation on Kenya's economic growth with Jamlic Munyasya this blessed morning. And we're taking your questions and comments on 20933. That's our SMS line. 0717 400 555 is our WhatsApp number. Frank, have a comment?
We have Pastor Joe saying that those who are looking for power have ideas, but the moment they get power, they become idea poor. Because the campaign manifestos and even our Vision 2030 are great ideas. Our problem is execution.
Okay. God help us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Hope FM, for the good job. Thank you for helping us learn more on business. I appreciate the way you are looking at matters. Okay, good morning to you. Someone says, and we're just about to import a chapati making machine. Actually, I was having a conversation with...
What a good time to be a student in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Remember when you were growing, chapatis was so rare.
Yeah. I was speaking to someone yesterday and they were saying actually that could be a very great thing, but only if we can turn it the way you're saying into an industry affair where we get young people to build this machine, young people to plant the wheat and bring the wheat. Yeah.
Yes.
Agriculture.
Agriculture.
Yeah, let's carry on.
You see, you go to some areas in Kenya, like Ukambani, and you find that large tracts of land that are unutilized. So I would say underutilized or unutilized. We can find something because in every area, you find you could be weak in one area, but you have strength on another area. So we need to look at our competitive advantages, our core competencies. You know, areas like Ukambani, there are areas like Narok. I had a friend say, and I followed that. This is a true story. In Narok County, Narok County experiences rains from February all through to maybe June, July, and you sometimes get foreigners doing farming there, thousand acres of land. They lease the land and employ the locals there. So they are paid per acre. They lease at 5,000 per year. And then those who are working in those farms, you're paid 300 per day. So that's wastage.
Yeah.
That's too little.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we need to engage in civic education, because I believe that for us to achieve economic independence, it will first come from the minds. We have to renew the minds of our people. Then at individual level.
Yeah. Talk to me now. Talk to me.
Public spending increases circulation of money in the economy. Spending increases demand for goods and services.
Okay.
This eventually affects the industries and creates jobs. And you see, I've seen many times, Kenyans complaining, and this is a true story. We have many rich Kenyans and wealthy Kenyans that have saved their money in foreign banks. That's one of the things that kills our economy. If today we have 1,000 billionaires and we create a placid environment for them to do business in Kenya where government gives them incentives, I said we can use the Korea strategy. We don't need to go and benchmark in Singapore. After all, they use our Session 1 of 1965 as a blueprint to grow the economy. So we don't need to go benchmark.
Yes.
We only need to implement the strategies that we laid those days. So you look at those countries and what they do to their citizens. Now back to my point. The circulation of money in the economy. We have 100 billionaires. And we talk to them today. How many jobs has more like Garden City created? Let's say roughly 500.
Okay.
TRM, and many other modes. And we talk to them, tell them instead of investing in foreign banks and saving money, because you cannot compare money that is, trading and saving. The interest. I know bankers will be feeling like, oh, you're not, but this is the right strategy that we can employ. And have them invest in Kenya. Let's say build 100 malls. The effect to the economy, every mall will employ 500 people. 500 times 100. I mean, how much is that?
500 times 100, that's 500,000.
500,000. We have created jobs. And the government knows these people because they have in their database.
Yeah.
If government can know how much you've saved, whether in the domestic or foreign banks. If we did that, the effect to the economy, job creation, circulation of money, because it will 500, when you're talking of 500,000 people, that will eventually translate to over 1 million.
Yeah.
Because if I'm working as a CEO as a CEO or as a manager in a bank, in a mall, that means down I'll employ about 3 or 4 people. And those 3 or 4 people, they'll employ others. So we need to really engage in civic education.
All right.
And tell our people that we have a duty as Kenyans to grow our economy. What is the point of a politician that is extremely wealthy going to a foreign bank, hiding their money there? They are not helping the economy. They are not helping the economy. So we need to have a burden for our country.
Right.
Kenya is our mother country. We have no another country that we can run to. We have no another country that we can run to. And then too, I'll also encourage that we develop the innovation culture.
Okay.
Business environment is turbulent, and there are 5 levels of turbulent environment. I'll mention them quickly. The first one is called a repetitive environment. Repetitive environment is the one that is predictable. It's an environment that is predictable. Like when you talk of companies like Coca-Cola, you can easily predict what happens next. The next one is expanding. Expanding is as a gradual growth, and it can be predicted as well. Then from there we have changing environment. Changing environment, this is brought up by technological advancements. And I remember when we were young, we would travel to you would travel to over 20 kilometers to watch football. But these days, because of technology, you can watch football in your house. Now, there is discontinuous and the surprising environment. A surprising environment, like you have the case of COVID-19. That's something that we never expected. Last year we experienced floods, something that we were not expecting. Now, for business, for us to thrive in such a turbulent environment, what do we need to do? We need to develop an innovation culture. Innovation culture where there is continuous improvement. We are both in disruptive, where disruptive is a radical innovation, and we have incremental innovation, so that we produce high quality products because of the innovation. If the government can just create a placid environment for the innovation culture, we can have local products that are to quality, that can compete even in the international market.
All right.
Because as you talk of industrialization, when you're talking of exporting, our products must be good enough to compete in the international market.
Definitely.
All right.
Wow. Well said. Time fails us. We could go on and on. If the Lord allows us, we can continue this conversation at another segment.
Yeah.
But we leave it at this for now. Thank you so much, Jamlic, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for challenging us.
Yeah.
May we step out
Absolutely.
and do what we must do as individuals, corporates, and the government as well. Our time is gone. Samia Dika is up next to the latest in the news world. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time and same place. Have a lovely day ahead. My name is Sharon Aitore Wangenya.
Favored Frank. Bye-bye.
Upe FM.